I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta. Kandy Muse is on the show today, and we talk about Doritos, villains, and star quality. But first, do you want to see me go off? Because I think you want to see me go off.
Oh. Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta. I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta, a luxury public access podcast and talk show where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, and invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and get very Delta. Very Delta is for the woman who is more human than human. But first, let's get into some things that are very Delta.
Go off, Delta!
Do you ever think to yourself, I hope I get so rich that I exhaust everything else there is to do and I just get bored and I'm like, let me go to outer space. Let me get with some other people that I know and we'll pretend that we're astronauts and we'll just fly to outer space. There's so many other things going on, but they don't really affect me. I'm just going to get in a rocket ship and just go to outer space for 11 minutes just to prove to people that I can do it. Just because I can, just because I've earned it. I'm just going to go to outer space. Why not? Just jump in and go for 11 minutes and come back and kiss the ground because I'm an astronaut now. Who does that? You know, I'm not saying that Katy Perry and Gayle King and all of these people who went to not just take up space, but make space, as they said. I'm not saying that they don't contribute to the world. I'm not saying that they don't probably give to charity. They probably do. But what is the point of saying, I do have an extra X amount of dollars. I need to just go to the perimeter of space. Just like the edge, just like 11 minutes out, and then I'll be cool. What goes through someone's brain when they're like, this is what I want to do? They have to know that the accomplishments and achievements of women who have been studying this very field through NASA are currently being erased. Those achievements, those images, those studies, those findings, their very image and vision is being erased. You know what I would do if I was that rich? I think if I thought, I want to contribute, I want to go to outer space, I want to know what's out there. If I wanted to know what was out there, I would want somebody who could understand it to go for me. So all these people that are having their work be erased, and when I say all these people, I mean women who are having all of their achievements be diminished, women who have worked in this field for so long, I would say, I'm going to outer space, I'm going to purchase a ticket, and at the last minute I would say, now let's put the real people in there, the real scholars, the real people who study this, the real astronauts. Let's put them in there and send them up. I feel like, isn't that what you would want to do? I'm so confused by all of it. I'm confused by the necessity of it, the flex. Why would you flex that? And Gayle King, have you been to space? What a weird question in this day and age. Have you been to space? What do you think, Gayle? Do you think that we've possibly been to space? Is it rhetorical? Is it hilarious? Is it a question about not just physically going to outer space, but thinking outside of the realm, outside of where we are, outside of the fact that people can't afford groceries? Is that what you're talking about? Maybe I'm missing something here. I don't know. You seem like a very celebrated person, a friend of Oprah, which in many ways should be proof enough. It seems so strange that somebody would like sort of, have you been to space? Let them eat cake. I help everyone. Drinks for everyone. Drinks for everyone. Champagne for everyone. I mean, come on. How odd that would be fine. That would be something that would be in like that would be the reaction. And I'm not saying that we don't all experience some level of privilege over someone else. I say it all the time. You know, we're not all in the same boat. We're all in the same storm. In this case, we're not all in the same rocket ship. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving, come and take a trip in my rocket ship. We'll have a lovely afternoon. Fa fa fa. Fa fa fa. Where does your family ski? Oh, have you been to outer space? All of it is so... They didn't go to outer space. I don't think they went anywhere. I think they were intercepted. It wouldn't surprise me, like when I see Katy Perry, like in the interviews, and she's like, oh my God, we went to outer space, and I sang What a Wonderful World. I felt like a plastic bag for real. It just seems so like the loves of nature. Are she on shrooms? What is she on? Like, what are these people on? And then getting out and kissing the ground. Oh, so glad I'm back from my journey. Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? Oh, the life. Mercury, Uranus, a star, a black hole, club, another club, kiss the ground. Have you ever been to outer space? Have you ever felt like a plastic bag? It's like, oh my God, to be Katy Perry is just, it's so crazy. Not as crazy as being Gayle King. And you know what's sad? I don't even know who them other people were that were in there. There was other people. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't possibly. Not a clue. It's just insignificant. Just insignificant. The only thing significant is the fact that it was all tomfoolery. That's it. Something to talk about, a talking point. I don't know. Maybe it was intended to keep us from looking at something else because that's what everything seems to be. But in this case, wow. Maybe they were sacrificing for the country. Maybe they were doing this as a smokescreen, and maybe they really were putting in the work. Maybe they were like, oh, well, if people see me as a ginch and an idiot, I'll have to do so for the country. Do you know what I did while you were in space for 11 minutes? I had a quantity sufficient bowel movement. I probably then had diarrhea right after, and then another bowel movement. I made space in my bowels. And that's something everyone can achieve in 11 minutes. You know what else I did in 11 minutes? In 11 minutes, I was able to go to the drive-thru, place my order, get my order, eat the one item from the value menu, and still make it home with a full combo untouched. That's what I did in 11 minutes. You know what else I did in 11 minutes? In 11 minutes, I went to the grocery store and I spent $12 for eggs. That's what I did. In 11 minutes, I think I was able to imagine what I would do with all my money and 11 minutes to spend it. That's what I did with my 11 minutes while you were in space. And I wonder what the taking up space group thought when they looked down from outer space. What did they see? Did they see the shit show? Did they see how they were all able to escape for 11 minutes and maybe see this hope that they're talking about? I actually kind of hoped when they landed that they were going to reveal themselves as like reptilians or something. Like we were finally going to learn the reason for all of this pomp and circumstance was like a revelation. Because, you know, every time I see Katy Perry, she's always glitching and eyes rolling and looking weird and doing things. I just thought this is going to be the moment where on live television, her head's going to like peel open and all of them are going to pop out and they're going to be all, and they're going to like eat up the reporters. And then here we go. Like the final phase has finally happened and we're all running for the hills and it's complete and total utter mayhem. I thought that's what was going to happen and it didn't happen. So I'm slightly let down because I thought at least there would be an explanation to this full ass insanity playing out right in front of all of us. And the outfits, beautiful, wonderful, full cosplay. I mean, come on. These fitted scuba suits for outer space looking like superheroes. I mean, the optics of all of it is so crazy to have these like form-fitting, like, and the posing and the like, I was looking for guns. I thought it was like RuPaul's Drag Race Outer Space Challenge or something, like hair and makeup and get out of here. It just was so fake. I mean, the level of fake and privilege and flex and weird taking up space. I mean, my God. And these were stars, right? These are all stars. You know what a star is? A star is a ball of gas. And that's what they all are. Today's guest has star quality. You know her from countless reality shows. It's the one and only Kandy Muse. Hi, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. How are you?
I'm good. And, we were talking off camera about this idea that, if you've been on Drag Race, you get introduced from being on Drag Race, which is wonderful and we appreciate it. But there's so many other projects that happen and the people that are connected to you know you from each of those projects.
Yeah, sometimes we get pigeonholed as to just being on Drag Race. And I'm a huge fan of Drag Race and I love Drag Race, but I've done so much more since I've been on Drag Race. And I think sometimes people have a hard time understanding that as queens, we're able to do more than just Drag Race.
Right. And of course, we fell in love with you on Drag Race.
Yeah.
I personally love someone, whether I agree with someone's opinion or not, I love somebody who has an opinion and they stand by it. And quite honestly, I always agreed with all of your opinions. So that's where I was going to fall in love. And it always comes with this heart. We know that you have heart. You care about what you do. You love your craft. You love people loving your craft. You love lifting people up. And it's just so weird to me when people are like, oh, but so-and-so so loud, or it's so this, or it's so that. That's what makes you an individual, don't you think?
It's so funny because when I was on the set of Drag Race, all my castmates and production, they all fell in love with me, right? And then when my 2 seasons, specifically season 13, when that season of Drag Race aired, the response from the audience was very different from what I thought was going to be, just full of love. I was met with a lot of turmoil for the next 3 years of my life. But I will say since then, it's all turned to so much love, especially after doing House of Villains, because I feel like that TV show was specifically made for me to succeed. And I was just being completely myself, a lot as bitch who's just playing a villain on TV there, and people fell in love with it. So ever since then, things have been a little bit different with the audience. I receive so much love now. But on Drag Race, people had a lot of opinions about me. And I think it's because people just haven't been introduced to queens who are real and don't really care about what the audience has to say about you. Because on Drag Race, I wasn't really there. My opinions weren't based on what the audience was going to think about me. My opinions were based on what I felt in the moment and what I'm going to let you know what I feel.
Right. Well, and that's, I think, what makes you a polarizing person. I don't want to say character because I don't think there is a Kandy Muse character. I feel that Kandy Muse, that's just you, whether you're in or out of drag. Your opinions are the same.
100%.
And I feel like when we get in drag, sure, it's like a little more credence to sort of move a little bit differently or a little bit more something, but the opinions are the same.
Yeah.
And I feel like you are one of those standout people in the history of Drag Race that other people that go on to Drag Race, they watch and they go, oh, I'm going to be like that. I'm going to speak up for myself. What happens is they get caught in producing themselves. You're never producing yourself. You're just saying it and you're like, well, whatever falls out from this, falls out from this.
No, that's literally me. Like, if you can ask any of my friends, if you watch me just on my daily basis, on camera or not on camera, I am the same way through and through. I'm someone who just likes to live life and have fun and make the people around me feel good. And yes, sometimes I can get a little bitchy, a little snappy and have my opinions, but they never come from a mean place. I never do things to be an evil person. Now, when a bitch tries me and she has to be put in her place, that's a different story because what you're not going to do is try to play me. But other than that, I'm just on earth to just live my life to the fullest. And that's what I try to achieve, whether it's on Drag Race or any TV show on camera or not.
Yeah, I love that. You just went to Coachella.
Oh my God,
Tell me.
did. When I tell you, okay, I'm a party girl. I'm a festival girl. I enjoy life outside of drag. I really do. And it was my first time at Coachella. I went to weekend 2 because I heard that weekend 2 was it was more chill. All the celebrities go to weekend 1 and all the influencers go to weekend 1 and weekend 2 was more chill. So I went with 20 of my friends,
Wow.
and we stayed in this huge house. And although it was chaotic, it was so much fun, and it really feels like you're in a dream. And I'm hooked. I cannot wait to go back next year. Tickets go on sale next Friday for next year. I'm getting on the waiting list. I'm getting my tickets. It was just such a magical experience. I asked the guy I was dating to be my boyfriend at Coachella. It was just I was so high on all the drugs that I was so filled with joy and I couldn't stop crying because I was just so happy because I was there with all my friends and just enjoying this moment that sometimes in life we take for granted.
Mhm.
I really cherish a lot of my friendships that I have, and Coachella was just one of those moments where I was able to enjoy and indulge in all the good energy.
Well, especially now more than ever, it's like you really want to be around the people who love you, the people who know
Yeah.
you. You want to make these moments because everything, like politically, socially, economically, family, friends, like there's just so much noise going on.
Yeah.
And it's like to have a moment with your friends and the people who love you and that you love,
Yeah.
just doing something where like it's destination, it's a way.
It's honestly be like in a utopia of just happiness. And if you have the finances and the means to go to Coachella at some point in your life, I advise you to do it at least once.
Mhm.
It is just like it's wild. It's insane.
Was there a VIP section? And what does it feel like to sit alone in the VIP?
There was a VIP section. I, however, did not go for the artist passes or backstage passes. I wanted the general admission with all my friends. Yes, people were bothering me every other second for a photo, but it's not necessarily bothering me. It was just, I was meeting a lot of people at Coachella more than
Mhm.
I would have wanted to when you're high on acid and ketamine and all of this. But I enjoy being with the people. And now I don't really enjoy VIP sections anymore. I think when I was not a TV star, I loved the VIP section. Once I became a TV star, I don't really like being in VIP sections. I feel too closed in. I
Mhm.
enjoy meeting people and hugging people and just running around.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever have people ask you for a picture and they know that you're from Drag Race and someone says, "Oh, that person's from Drag Race, go get a picture." And they try to take the picture and they call you someone else?
You know what's so funny? I've been very lucky that as of recent, in the last few months, when people come up to me, it's no longer Kandy Muse from Drag Race. It's, "Oh my God, I loved you on House of Villains."
I
And
love
it's
that.
Kandy Muse, the household name.
I
And
love that.
it feels so great because, like I said, I do love Drag Race, but sometimes people can confuse a lot of us. I can be Latrice, Mistress Stacey. I could be whoever they think you are. But it's been nice to just hear, wow, it's Kandy Muse from House of Villains. So yeah, I'm one of the very few lucky girls that I've been able to create a lane for myself and really stick with it, and it's been very successful for me this far. And as a child, I've always grown up wanting to be a TV star, reality TV. I grew up watching trash reality TV, and now that I'm a trash reality TV star, yeah, it feels fucking great, honestly.
I love that. I love that. If you had the opportunity to return to RuPaul's Drag Race, and I always think they should theme the All-Stars, right? Like some people say there could be like all girls who were first out.
Right.
Or all girls who were miscongenialities or something. If they had like a bad girls season, right? Who do you think, would you do it? And who could you imagine being in that dream cast?
I necessarily don't know if I would go back a third time.
Okay.
I think I've done everything that I needed to do on there. I've showed what I could have shown. The only thing I could do now is win a crown, and I don't really care for a crown, honestly.
Mhm.
But then again, I say that, and every time there's a new promo, I'm like, I want a new promo. I'm like,
Yeah.
If they call me, we'll see. Obviously, I always say like, if RuPaul calls, I'll answer. But if there was like a bad girl season, I would have loved to have been, on a season with like Mistress and Diabetes and all the girls who are just little bitches on the show who are not afraid to give their opinion. Especially when there's so many fans who will attack you just for having an opinion.
Right.
All the bad bitches on that show, and the girls know who they are. If there was a way to bring back Willa, I would have loved to be on there with Willa. Just girls who are just unapologetically themselves.
I always feel like people love to watch it, right? And they're like rooting for all the drama. They're like, "Oh, I hope there's a lot of drama this season. I hope there's drama." And then they watch it and then they see it and then they're fine with it until they get on social media and they're like, "Well, actually, you shouldn't have said." And it's like, what do you want? You want it or you don't want it? You want me to be real or you don't want me to be real?
Yeah, I think the fans don't really know what they want, and I think that it's messing with the integrity of the show. Because I watch the show now, and I'm like, it's great because Drag Race is great, but it's not giving the earlier seasons. You know, you watch back season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the girls just didn't care, and it made for the most iconic and really great television that we till this day still quote. You know,
Right.
now I couldn't give you a quote from any of the later seasons besides my own, but. Yeah, I just think that the fans don't really know what they want. You know, one day they complain about not enough drama, and then the next day they complain about how everyone's complaining about that there's not enough drama. Yeah, there needs to be a new formula.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there where it just switches things up so that the fans can be happy and it still keeps the integrity of Drag Race, because at the end of the day we're drag queens.
Right.
You know, what we do is we read. You know, there's one. I'm gonna paraphrase this, but on season 3 in the reunion, you were like, did I read? Absolutely. Did I talk shit? Absolutely. But we know our names are not Heathers, even though we have them right here in this necklace. And it's one of those things of like, we're drag queens. We're poking fun at what we do. Some of us are men in wigs pretending to be women lip syncing. Do you know how ridiculous that really is when you really take yourself out of drag and you hear the heels clacking at a bar because the music is not loud enough? You're like, we really are here pretending to be artists. It's fun. It's stupid. I think that the fans sometimes don't understand that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. You know, there's a lot of talk when it comes to Drag Race or any reality about people who are connected to other people. And the dollhouse in itself is very ingrained in Drag Race in the sense that there's so much representation.
Yeah.
Right? Tell us about the dollhouse itself.
Yeah. So the dollhouse is a Sir house that comes from the iconic House of Aja, which was obviously ran by our mother, Aja. And the dollhouse was Dalai Sin, myself, Janelle, who's now on Drag Race, and then obviously my daughter Tsunami, who was Miss Congeniality on season 16. And we all, as different as we all come from the same backgrounds, where when you really want something, you fight for it. You know, we all come from the hood, and life wasn't built for us to win or for us to kind of be in this position that we are now. But where we come from, you strive for greatness and you really work hard for what you want. And that's one thing that Aja has always told us and taught us from the very beginning of our drag career is if you really want something, you are going to fight for it. Otherwise, then leave the fuck alone. You know, I remember when we were filming my season 10 audition tape in the streets, and Aja made me cry because she was like, we were recording my Call Me Mother lip sync, and she was like, do you really want this? Because right now it doesn't seem like you do. You're lip syncing in front of this camera, it doesn't seem like you want it. So when you want it, then we can come back and do it. You know, then it was very that when you watch it back, you're like, okay, that wasn't my best audition tape. And then when you really put in that really great audition tape, which I did for season 13, when you watch that back, you're like, oh wow, okay, there's a reason why you got on. You really wanted this. And that's what we all have. It's the drive and determination to, when we want to go, we go for it. And yeah.
I just think that's like such a beautiful part of having a drag family, an extended drag family, other families that come from that.
Yeah.
Because it's all about like knowing people at their absolute worst, but only championing their best. You know what I'm saying?
We know what it is coming from nothing. You know, we all used to be one bedroom all together. Dahlia, Momo, me, Aja, you know, and we know what it is to be broke where you can't, you know, take a car from the gig because you're working for pennies, and we've only made enough tips to like eat food that night, you know, which is why now where I am today and where we are today, I kind of shut the world out. The opinions of people, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't read the comments. Back when I was on Drag Race, I used to sit there and fight with everyone on Twitter and read Instagram comments. Now I don't really care. I post and I go. I don't have the energy to really intake other people's energy because I'm just so happy with my life and I'm so happy with everything that I'm doing in life and the people around me that I don't really give a shit about what anyone has to say.
Right.
Honestly. And that's my main thing I tell all the girls all the time. Oh my God, I know that sometimes it's so easy to fall into the trap of what people have to say about you. Because sometimes, listen, we're human, and it's human nature to want to know what opinions people have about you. But
Right.
does it really fucking matter? Is it going to change anything?
No,
Not really.
That's very true. And I think you're in the right mindset that, I wish we were all in that same mindset, which is to just sort of post and go. That makes sense
Yeah.
to me, because there's going to be so many people that want to detract what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
You should have worn this. You should have a little bit darker red. No, this is the red I wore.
This is what I wore. This is what I trust me. I looked in the mirror before I left the house.
Completely, head to
I know
toe.
exactly what I look like. Every detail I thought of, and that is what I wanted to wear.
And there's a reason for all of it.
Mhm.
It makes sense in the end product. But yeah, so many people.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We are back with Kandy Muse. Now, I always say to people, like, I know there's bigger problems in the world. Like, I know I sit here and bitch about the dumbest shit in very nuanced ways. Is there any small thing that's happening right now that is just a small fish that you want to fry? Something you want to say to anyone or anything out there?
Okay, I'm this might be a little taboo to talk about, because I know that, people have their personal issues about drug use. Let's just say candy use. You're eating candy at the club, right?
Uh-huh.
I am tired of feeding people candy all the time.
Okay.
I can't be the provider at all the times. I need, if we are in a group setting, I need the other people in the group to bring their own candy to the table. We can all share candy together.
Right.
But I can't be the provider. Just because I have an amazing career and I'm on the road making coin doesn't mean I can provide candy for everyone all the time.
I think that is I don't think anyone's talked about that, but that really is the truth.
Yes.
People do have that expectation sometimes.
Yes. I realized once I got off Drag Race, suddenly, I'll be the one getting the Ubers or paying bills. And I'm like, okay, well, yes, I'll do it because I love my friends and I love hanging out with people. But at some point, I need someone to
right,
give.
Yeah.
Can't be the only one giving.
They say gas, grass, or ass. Nobody rides for free.
Hello.
You know what I mean? That's really the way it has to be. What are you giving? What are you giving?
And let me tell you, a lot of people are giving nothing.
A lot of people are giving nothing. I feel like I have a friend group, and sometimes we will get together. And listen, if you can't bring a bottle to the party, or you can't bring a dish to the party, or whatever it is, you can help wash dishes. You can straighten up. You can help unload the car. There's something you can do. But also, as far as the candy goes, you do need to bring your own candy.
You need to bring your own candy. Also, it's like you're not gonna go to a pregame empty-handed.
Right. No, you're not gonna do that.
You're not gonna do that. That's yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Ooh.
I am I like beverages. I like diet beverages. I love iced tea.
Yeah.
But I know that I have not touched this, but you like, do you?
Oh, I love a Coke Zero.
Now tell me about Coke Zero and the flavor profile.
Sis. Okay. So I've been on my weight loss journey for the last year since I started my Ozempic. And I used to be a heavy soda drinker.
Okay.
I used to drink Coke nonstop a lot. Once I started my weight loss journey, I stopped drinking soda for a very long time. And I started just drinking water. I cut juices out and soda. And I was never a Diet Coke kind of girl. I don't know why Diet Coke was just never, the profile was just too much for me. My best friend introduced me to Coke Zero. And the first taste was a little weird for me. The first sip was just like, okay, I don't know about this. I've been hooked ever since.
Okay.
I love a Coke Zero. I prefer Coke Zero over a Diet Coke any day.
Some people do, it's because it tastes more like a real Coke. That's the intention, is for it to taste like a real Coke.
0 calories.
0 sugar.
0 sugar. No carbs. 2% sodium. It's okay. A lot of things in life have sodium. Who cares? It's everything.
I love that you know that off the top of your head, by the way. Like, that is very
Yes.
specific.
But Coke Zero, she is the supreme.
Yeah.
She's everything. She is the mother I've never had.
Mhm.
She is the sister I've always wanted. She is that girl.
She's the one.
She is the one.
She's the one.
And you know what? You have your dinner with her, and you have your snacks, your chips, it's everything. I mean, come on.
And your chips are the spicy chili Doritos,
Clock it.
which are mine also. I love.
Purple bag reigns supreme.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. I tweeted about the spicy sweet chili Doritos, and it went crazy. People are really big fans of the purple bag of Doritos.
They're so good.
I love Cool Ranch
Mm-hmm.
at a beach or Cool Ranch down.
Right.
I love a regular nacho flavor. You know, every now and then I'll pick her up. But if there is a purple bag, I'm going to pick up the purple bag. She's just everything.
She's vacation. She's fine dining.
And if you eat her, like if you get a big bag and you like eat her, you start to sweat a little bit.
Because there is heat to it.
There is heat to it. And you know what? I'm not really a spicy girl.
Okay.
I'm not, but sweet chili is that girl. And then you just sweat. I was actually eating a bag of purple Doritos like 2 weeks ago, and I remember just being in my house. I was like, wow, like this is really hot. I'm like sweating. I'm sweating.
Okay.
But I wasn't gonna stop.
Right. You can't.
No,
You can't.
she's so good.
What's a cereal that you will eat? Or are you a cereal?
Oh, love cereal.
Okay.
Okay, I do love a Captain Crunch.
Even if it fucks up the roof of your mouth, it doesn't matter.
It really okay. Here's the trick though. You have to do Captain Crunch with I do lactate because I cannot drink milk. And I put it in the microwave for a minute. I warm up my cereal.
Okay.
And it gets warm and like the cereal gets a little soggy. And I know people are not into soggy cereal, but it just tastes so good because the Captain Crunch melts into the milk and it's so good.
That sounds so good. Let me ask you this. Are you more Sniffies, Grinder, Adam for Adam, Craigslist? What would you be?
Well, I am now a taken woman.
But once upon a time.
Once upon a time, Sniffies was always a little too sleazy for me.
Okay. I see that.
You know, I know the girls have a lot of fun on there, but there was something so sadistic and dirty and gritty about sleazy, very sleazy about Sniffies. But I know the girls used to do Craigslist, the misconnections.
Oh yes.
The girls love misconnection. That's a little beyond my time.
Well, Craigslist used to be just such a like no man's land. Like you could do anything, everything goes. I have a friend, maybe I talked about it before, but I have a friend that will still use like in order to like find guys, will post a picture of a microwave for sale, but in the microwave you can see her and her ass bent over.
Oh my God.
And so they don't, and so she'll be like, oh, I'm selling this microwave. Like, if you want to come look at it for free, like it still heats up and like she lets them have it. And they,
Did you say Adam for Adam?
No, on Craigslist. Oh yeah. No, but that was an option. Adam for Adam.
Adam for Adam. Okay. Adam for Adam. Actually, I must have been in like my freshman year of high school. And that's where I had my first sexual experience, which was a threesome with two guys who I'm sure were way older than I was.
Were you selling a microwave?
No, I was selling something. But yeah, Adam for Adam was my very first time I ever saw something like that. Is that even around anymore? I don't think it exists anymore.
No, I remember what else was there? Gay.com. That's you're too young for that. Back in the day,
when I was younger, when I was a little baby gay, I would type in gay.com just to see what in my family computer. And I would delete the history, or I would think I would delete the history, but it would still be, we would type in gay.com and it would still pop up. And mind you, I come from a Mormon family, so.
Right, I heard about this. Tell me about that.
Yeah, you know, I would go in my family computer. You know, you would have the hard drive and stuff, the desktop, and I would just type in gay.com and I would just see what would come out. I think I'd be looking for gay porn, honestly, but there was no porn on gay.com.
Have you ever looked up like Mormon porn, because they have like those reenactment sites?
It's always funny when I was younger, I used to look at Mormon gay porn to see what people would think a Mormon gay porn would look like.
Mhm.
And they would always have their little underwear,
The
the
garments.
garments.
Do you wear garments?
No.
Did you ever?
That funny enough, that's for the older Mormon men.
Uh-huh.
I was baptized though, and I went to camp every summer. I almost went on my mission, but I started working at Starbucks, so I couldn't go to church anymore. That was my excuse to like leave church.
Okay, so that you work at Starbucks,
Yeah.
which is vastly different in opinion and
Yeah.
which is fine.
Uh-huh.
You were a cheerleader.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was.
Can you, off the top of your head, can you think of a cheer? Something that we could learn?
A cheer. Oh my God. It's been
Doesn't
like
have to be physical, just the words.
it's been like 10 years since high school. Or something like that. Oh my God. Okay, let me think.
My name is Kandy. I want you to bring your candy. Because even though I'm Kandy, gas grass are ask no one rights for free.
There was one time we were like, you've seen us before, but never quite like this. We're back and we're better. We cannot be dismissed. We're in it to win it. We're going to the top. We're second to none. And we cannot be stopped. Move it. Just do it. Get up your feet. We seeing your stuff is not enough. Something.
We're going to bring the heat.
I'll be over the heat.
I live for that.
That was our diss to the step team. Because the
Okay.
cheerleading team and the step team in high school had beef.
Okay.
And then when I got kicked out of cheerleading team, because I was the captain, I was a little bitch. So they all rallied around me and were like, you know what, you gotta go. So
Right.
you know where I went? To the step team. I was like, oh, okay.
Have you ever run into anyone from high school now that you are known
Yeah.
internationally?
You know, I run into a lot of I went to high school of graphic communication arts in Hell's Kitchen. It does not exist anymore. It's closed down. But it was a very fluid high school.
Mhm.
And that's where I started early transitioning in high school for a little bit because
Okay.
all the gay boys were started transitioning. So I thought that's what I wanted to do. And then I found drag and stuff. But yeah, there was only there were a few gay boys. There was like maybe less than 10 gay boys in school, which is a lot for most high schools, I guess, in like middle America. But in New York
Mhm.
City, that was a very little number for gay boys. And now I run into them and they're just so happy because they know I was a very eclectic and a very out of the box kid in high school. And it all makes sense. Like they look at me and I was like, well, yeah, of course you're in this position now because the way
Right.
you were in high school, you know, I was voted most unique in high school. And it makes sense. But yeah, it's nice when I run into people from high school. They're just like, wow, you really achieved what you wanted to do. Because I was very, very bad at school. My junior year, I barely even showed up to school. And it was
Mhm.
by the grace of the fucking chin hairs that I was able to graduate my senior year. So people just anytime I run into anyone now, they're just like, "Wow, you really did it."
Mhm.
And again, it's because I had a goal, and there wasn't going to be anyone to stop me from my goal.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Do you ever wear cherry blossom? Japanese cherry blossom? Do you ever wear cherry blossom?
I do not.
You don't.
I do love the Bath and Body Works cherry blossom scent,
Mhm.
but no, I don't. I don't.
You don't. What about Lana Del Rey and cherry blossom?
You know, that is such a funny story because that happened so long. I feel like that happened so many lives ago. When it's no secret that Lana Del Rey gave me my very first drag name, Cherry Blossom, when she was first coming up as a singer and before she blew up with SNL and everything. And I thought it was a beautiful name until I figured out that was Bath and Body Works lotion. So I switched my name to Kandy Muse, which came much later on. But yeah, that's always such a dope fucking story.
Yeah.
That I get to have.
Would you have ever accepted the name Cucumber Melons?
I don't know about that. Cucumber is a cute name though.
It is a cute name. It is a cute name.
Cute.
Moonlit Path?
Moonlit Path.
Uh-huh.
That is a beautiful name.
It could be.
Hi, I'm Moonlit. Or Moonlight.
I was telling Doug, because we usually meet before in the morning before we have guests come. And sometimes we're like, oh, you have to write this and you have to ask this. And I totally was like, you could just we could write a couple things down, but Kandy is just somebody who It's like anybody can be in a conversation with you. And I like, we've never really hung out in any
Yeah.
way, but I always feel like there's just a handful of people that you watch on Drag Race or something. And you're like, God, that person just seems so present. Like you seem, whenever you're speaking to someone, whether you're laying down the law, you know what I mean? And I've watched you lay down the law. You've had to. Or whether you're having just like a moment, or whether you're meeting someone for the first time, you leave people feeling like they were actually talking with you. You weren't talking at them. And that is so, it's just such it's a gift that not everybody has. I mean, maybe 10% of people have that.
Yeah, you know, I've always said this. I always put myself in the position of other people where how would I want to leave with the impression of whoever I just met that I'm looking up to or that I'm a fan of?
Right.
You want to leave with a good impression. You want to leave there thinking, wow, I had a great moment. And that person actually gave a fuck about me for that 2 minutes that we met,
Right.
you know? And I always want to give people their moment and make them feel so special when they walk away, right? Because people go through a lot of shit in their lives, right? And what we do as artists, as drag queens, as entertainers, is make people happy.
Mm-hmm.
We can't, you know, you could be a diva on your own, yeah, and feel your fantasy, sure. But to me, it's just like I consider myself like a healer, where I feel like I was put on this earth to some way somehow make someone's life just a little bit better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what I do with my drag and who I am and with meeting people. I want someone to walk away feeling a little bit better than they did before they met me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We are back with Kandy Muse. Now, this is the part of the show we call Read Me Delta, which is people send in their letters and we read them. Sometimes they need advice. Sometimes they want to share an interesting story or an observation. And if you do have a question or something that you want read in a letter, you can send that to readmedelta@gmail.com and they will filter their way here. Can I use your letter opener?
Of course. Look how pretty. It's red too.
Oh, it matches you.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a DTM person, die to match, or?
I think that at some point, certain level, things should look cohesive with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I love a monochromatic moment, I guess you
Mhm.
can see. But yeah, I think there should be at least two things that like bring something together.
Right.
Yeah.
What is your muse, or who is your muse?
I'm a very big Gaga fan.
Mm-hmm.
Gaga has raised me. Truly. I think that I am the entertainer that I am today and the person that I am today because of her.
Our producer and editor, Doug, is a major Lady Gaga fan. In fact,
Yeah.
he collects all of the concert posters like
Yeah.
that the artists do or different things like that. He's just obsessed. And then this morning we were talking about Gaga and I said something about that I was watching the old episode when Gaga was on Drag Race.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I wish I was on that season when Lady Gaga was there. It would have been so cool. And, you know, I mentioned that I had lip synced to Bad Romance. And he's like, you did? I don't remember that. I was like, bitch.
Oh, yeah, you did.
We
on
work
season
together
3.
on the motherfucking show every week.
You did.
He said,
on
girl, he
season
said
3.
he said season 5 is his girl, I guess. Well, whatever, bitch. Season 5, I like season 5 too, though. Okay, letter. Dear Delta and highly anticipated guest, I'm aware that you've received a similar question before about funerals, but I have to put my 2 cents in. I have this fantasy in my mind that I choose to die at my funeral. That's weird. What does that mean?
Oh.
This, I feel, is a great way to go out for reasons such as the last thing I want to eat, the age and date that I decide to call it quits, the people I want to be there, the tunes I want to be played, the weather, my attire, etc. I also believe it to be a good opportunity for people to get closure and say their final words to me during this celebratory event in my backyard. This could be far off in the future, maybe when I'm about 80 to finish things off with a pill or something similar, and then I'll go back inside when the party continues outside. What are your thoughts on this as a wise and opinionated woman? I've never been to a funeral before. Is this a naive outlook on the concept, or does it have some merit? Very Corey. Corey wants to arrange a funeral and then have the party and then say bye and then go take a pill and die in the other room.
Okay. Well, that's definitely one way to do things, right? I
mhm.
don't know if I would do that for my funeral. I think, I think to some extent we all want to be present for our funeral because we want to see who's there and who's crying for us, and like,
Uh-huh.
right, But I don't know if I would want to just excuse myself and then go die in the next room.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's a very he must have had some sort of dream and
A fever
a
dream.
fever dream because I don't know. That's you. You're gonna like your poor guest.
Right.
Your poor guests are gonna see you alive, and then the next second you're gonna go and die in the next room. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, I think it's a lot. I guess what we're talking about here kind of is suicide in a way. I mean,
Right.
and it's a very delicate situation because sometimes when people get very old or they're even if they're young, but they're violently sick and they want to choose to move on because they're like, I can't suffer anymore. It's something that I cannot really interject like my opinion on because I think it's individual for each person and you determine what you want to do with this life.
Right.
This is not to say that I think anytime you're having a bad time that should be your go-to. Like it cannot be your go-to. There's always something to live for. There's somebody who gives a shit about you. There's somebody that matters. And sometimes we get in these situations where we're like, I'm the common denominator in all my problems. Maybe if I just wasn't here, I wouldn't have these problems.
Right.
But the reality is that this life, it ebbs and flows and it moves. And, you spoke about things can get really hard. You
Yeah.
could be in a place where there's a bunch of people in one space and you only make a few coins and do you eat or do you get a car? Like there's real situations where you're like, I don't know if I'm going to get out of this. But you do get out of it. You do. And what do people always say? Well, it gets easier. It doesn't really get easier. You get smarter, you get wiser, and you understand. I don't think you don't have to end it this way. Even at 80 or whenever, your time here is so valuable. It really is. You could be 80 years old and all of a sudden go, oh my gosh, I have this stroke of really great luck and cool things are happening to me. And I don't know, you build a library, you do something.
Yeah.
Anything's possible, but this is a little grim.
Yeah.
It's a little grim.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But I will say I did see a meme that said, when I die, watch out for them people that are eating at the funeral because how am you going to be eating and I'm dead? Like, how are you not even worried about it? You were worried about fixing a plate, but you weren't worried about crying for me. And also, I saw another one where it was a bracelet, the medic alert bracelets that'll say this person's diabetic or whatever the issues are. It said, this is my life alert. And on the side of it, it said, erase my browser and destroy my phone.
Okay, because
Right?
in my mind, I always think to myself, okay, someone is going to have to go through my phone.
Right.
And not that there's anything on there, but I don't know, you're looking at the porn history.
Right.
I don't even be like, oh, she was into that. And there are certain text messages where I'm talking shit about people. So, man, let's just burn it.
Well, I think people are going to actually be bored if they looked at my browser history because my things are like at 3:00 in the morning, like, do ghosts fart? Like, I'm looking up shit like that. And people would be like, is she stupid? Like, why is she even? I don't think they'd be surprised by the porn. Okay, next letter. Dear Delta and beautiful guest, do you pick your nose like me? My name is Miriam and I'm an avid nose picker in private, of course. I live somewhere that's very dry and so the bats are big. Lately, there have been headlines of a mouse study showing Alzheimer rates are high among nose pickers. The theory is that the damage to the nose tissues exposes the brain to harmful bacteria. Should I stop picking my nose? Hugs and kisses, but no boogers allowed. Forever yours, Miriam. Do you ever pick your nose?
I believe in blowing your nose into a tissue, but yeah, the study between picking your nose and Alzheimer's is okay. That's something new I've never heard of.
I haven't heard that either. I will pick my nose. I mean, actually, this morning I was in my car and I was like I felt something and then I blew my nose, but nothing came out. But I felt like there was a rock in there, and so I was kind of like at the red light and I knew there were other cars, so I was just trying to be like. And I'm in my own car, but I'm trying to be like, I don't want them to see. And then I realized it was I don't even know what you would call it. I just call it a kunke, like a crumb, And it was pressed in there and it came out and I looked over and there was this guy staring at me he saw me picking my nose. And so I thought, what if I picked it and flicked it at him? Even if there was nothing there.
Oh my God.
If I just went there. No? If you pick it and there's no tissue, would you just wipe it on the chair, or where would you do with it if you had something?
Oh no, I would have to find a tissue. I would have to go to the bathroom.
You wouldn't eat it.
What? No.
What?
You would eat your boogers?
No, I wouldn't eat my boogers. But I mean, there's people that eat cum all day. You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference?
Not all day.
Well, I said erase my browser history. You know what I mean? Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
This is so fun.
Me.
You're the best. You're so easy to talk to. People love you. And like I said, I never really have gotten to know you in person, but I can see why everybody that I know that knows you loves you. I can see why. It's just so fucking true.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Today on Very Delta, we learn that stars have more quality than just being a ball of gas. We'll see you next week, and until then, keep things very Delta. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Danielle Mitchell. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions. Oh my gosh. Have you ever been to space? You ever been to space? I am so bored. I think I'll go to space.
Mom!
Watch Very Delta uncensored, ad-free, and a day early by subscribing to Mom Plus Gold. Sign up today at mompodcast.plus for premium content, including weekly episodes of more Very Delta.